Well, there once again, people. We are doing a bit of a marathon today of these Aftershock Toolbox levels, and this time around we are checking out Welcome to BLASTEM1. It's easy. So yeah, as usual, it's with a BLASTEM, it's with the Welcome to, it's with all the normal stuff that you'd expect to see. Yeah, by this point I'm pretty much already getting really used to this whole thing, to the point that it's getting rather repetitive, but it's part of the whole series, it's part of the experience. And oh my god, it's a Skybots! 9 levels into this thing, we finally see a Skybots! This is a rather notable thing, because I saw a Skybots texture before, but it was used as just a texture. It wasn't like actually well done at all. It wasn't animated, it wasn't anything. This is actually a proper Skybots, people. Oh my god, okay. I didn't actually think this thing would have offered such a capability. Well, that makes things interesting. But yeah, BLASTEM1. And we already have death and pain everywhere. Looks like there's more mobility to this one than we've seen in the past. Unless these are like outer courtyards. What is this, like a central area? That's all the outer courtyard where you fight everything. Wait a minute, what the? What's it about these elevators? They're like the central area of the map. They're like, go up, but don't really do anything. We saw this at like the end of the last episode. It basically had something that did exactly this. It's really strange. I'm assuming this is like intended to like come from that level? I don't even know. I have no idea, people. You know, that's kind of why I play things like the chronological order they were made, because who knows, maybe there's some logic behind it. I have no clue what's going on with any of this. So, yeah, you have plenty of ammo. Looks like we have plenty of stuck up on, but we don't really have much health. Interestingly, I don't think anything fell out of the level this time. Oh, nope. Never mind. We have 3 items that fell out. So much for a good record, finally, of things not falling out of the level. Anyway, we do have doors at the end of here, so there are places to go. I should probably check out down there, as that's open. There's also some items down here, and that's through a door. I don't really care about the door at the moment. So we have a wide open area down here, but we have one side that has an ogre. I should probably go over there and kill him. Alright, easy enough, and we got some health out of it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute here, people. I think wait a minute here. Guys, I think I'm realizing. This is E1M9. This is E1M9, people. Look at this. This is the starting door. This is the cage where you fight the enemies. And now we just went to the secret area. Wow, okay then. So yeah, this is bloody E1M9. A recreation of it. Wow. I didn't exactly expect to see this at Quake, but yeah, what do you know? A recreation of E1M9. I'll go with it. Okay, game. I have some idea what I'm doing then. The enemies are at different spots. There's just random like enforcers and random resources everywhere, but the geometry is definitely very familiar. So yeah, let's gather resources and explore this world of pain and death. I don't think there's any... Yeah, there's no slime or anything. You realize when you recreate E1M9, you could probably create, you know, some slime and damaging floors? I'm kind of disappointed you didn't. I love the fact I'm also shooting things with a shotgun when I have, like, 52 rockets already. But this makes the thing so much more fun and challenging. Alright then, as you see, there is stuff up there. I want to get up there. So yeah, we have our health, keycard, and yellow armor. Convenient for me. But no way to lower this. Oh, okay, you just bump into it and it lowers. That's convenient enough. Wait for this to go up, and you get more free rockets! Hooray! More destruction and death. We have 64 rockets, and I don't really know what I'm going to be using them on. Because I think we only have like 30 enemies. And if there are more ogres, we're going to just be getting a lot more rockets. Hooray for excessiveness! Anyway, now we have this door. Now there is, like, no real order to this because, you know, keycards don't actually do anything. But regardless, I'm not really sure how exactly it worked in the original Doom. I kind of forget exactly the order of how you would go around things. I think you want to come to this side. You know, that's definitely the exit. That's where you don't want to go just yet. You want to come over here. Because this is where the rocket launcher would have been Doom. I'm trying to remember Doom. I'm not really too big into, like, that game or whatnot, but I do have memories of how it is because I did play, like, 300 bloody levels of it. So, yeah, that I think is the door that leads there. It really doesn't matter, as I said, but I am trying to go a bit for consistency if I can. You know, because it is a recreation. I'd like it to be a bit more faithful if I can make it. There's, like, no cage here or wall here, but you can tell at least that it's the same. Kind of like all the recreations we've had of, like, whatchamacallit? What was it? Map 01. We've had, like, 2 levels or so whereby we had, like, Map 01 recreated. And, let's see here, I think it was Cassenti, I want to say it was. Like, Cassenti 2. And it was Map 01Q. Both of them basically were recreating Doom 2 Map 1. Which was definitely curious and whatnot for the time. And like I said, this is interesting because this, I think, is the first example of Doom 1 being recreated at all. And you would think if someone was going to recreate Doom 1, they'd probably recreate E1M1 out of all levels. You know, that's kind of always the thing. If there's, it's pretty much the rule of thumb whenever a new game comes out, that someone's going to recreate it using E1M1. And yet, ironically, in all of our exploration, we have yet to run across an E1M1 level. Instead, we ran across an E1M9 level. So, yeah, just about the curious thing. I'm not really sure why they called it BLASTEM. Kind of interesting that they, like, chose that name. But at least we know what this is. It's a freaking Doom level. But yeah. Because it's Quake, it feels a bit better, definitely. What the? I hear noises! I hear noises! I don't like that! What lowered? No, my enemies are supposed to teleport in here, but of course they don't, because that would be too anticlimactic. Instead, we have nothing happen. That's totally better. What the? Oh god, a fiend! A fiend! I didn't expect a fiend in this tight little corridor. Okay, so I guess there are a few surprises they have in store. Oh, look, I found the gold key card. Wait, where am I? Oh, I think this is the secret area, so-called. As in the fact that if you go to one of these corners, there's supposed to be a secret. Apparently it's not in this one. But yeah, it's basically representative of that. It's not accessible via this way in Doom, but, seems like this is the only way to go. And where does this go? Do I want to know? Okay, this is rather strange. It seems like this fiend was supposed to teleport in, but he didn't. And instead it just turned out to be a really useless teleporter. But it's there, and now we have both key cards, so I guess I technically really could go anywhere without really worrying. Right, that was easy enough. Just like Doom, when you get really the weapons, you're able just to blast these mobs with ease. Here would be some radioactive containers, but in this one, there isn't. There's just an Enforcer. Yo, did you really expect them to actually go into that level of detail? Not in this pack, they don't. So let's see, we press this button. And that opens up this area, the tunnel that leads around, and it should also open up an area upstairs, whereby the real gold key would normally be. Let's see, so we come up here. There's nothing here, but there normally should be. Ooh, look, a double-barreled shotgun. Well, that's convenient enough. But yeah, really not much of use around here. Let's go down this way. Because we still have to kill everything behind this way to, solidify where we're going here. I love that I love that quick we're gonna have like a walkthrough of basically how to do Doom E1 M9. Yeah, that'll be a rather curious thing. We're doing the work of Doom Wiki over here. You know, they're supposed to be doing everything, but no, we're doing it before they ever could, because we're better than them. Hooray for competition! Let's see here. So we have another keycard. Wait, why do we have two keycards? And the other one was runic, and this one is like a actual keycard. That's really strange, but okay. Where's this go? It's a random pin in the ground. Guys, I found a random pit that you can drop into it to get to the ground. Why? Why is this a thing? Why did this exist? Did it exist just to torture me? Well, thank God for the ability to rocket jump. Because that would have stunk. Really, game. Literally just dropped me into a random hole with nothing to do in that hole. Wait. When did this lower? Okay, so when I walked in there, this lowered. No damaging force I have to worry about, but this is supposed to be representative of slime. At least in this instance. Not really sure the purpose of this whole hidden area, since, you know, it's not even a reward down here. But, it's a thing. It's part of the recreation of this whole thing. Time to go to the exit area. Now, if this is properly done, that will be the exit right over there. But, of course, we need to go down here and get our way around to it. So before we drop into that pit area, which is a lot easier in Doom because there's a lot less enemies and we have too many rockets to ever know what to do with. We even have a Thunderbolt with 100% ammo. Like, my God, we got way too much access. Here's the secret wall here, which gives us even more access because that's what we really need. Wait, no, get more stuff. Oh look, free red armor. In a world whereby I've already gotten a lot of red armor. You could jump to all these platforms, but there seems to be absolutely no purpose in this version. Amazing. So yeah, let's just go back upstairs. There's still 4 enemies. We could just jump across this, right? Yeah, we totally could. But that's not the way it's done in Doom! Let's follow down here and see where this goes. Oh look, a bouncy grenade launcher! Catch, buddy! Now we can cut back around. We still have 2 enemies to find. Wait a minute, this is the exit. Where are the last 2 enemies? Game? Game, you... Let me guess, there's also like enemies behind this wall or something. Because there's also enemies that like appear like the specters or something like that. No? I mean, I could try and run to that, but I'm pretty sure, like 95% sure that'll just exit the level. So where are these last 2 enemies? Game? Bueller? Bueller? Yeah, where am I going here? I'm trying to obviously find whatever I'm supposed to be doing here, as in, like, where these last 2 enemies are. It was all fun and games until I can't find the last 2 bloody enemies. I tell you, this was always the challenge of Doom, too, so hooray! Faithful recreation! So faithful, I have to hunt for enemies again! So, yeah, I'm not really sure what exactly I'm doing here. But I'm trying to find these last 2 enemies, and, watch as it turns out, like, you needed to, like, collect the key card, and that, like, does something. Trying to, like, no-clip around, see if, like, there's any areas that are, like, sealed that would, like, open up if I collected the key card. It's like, I'm really bothered by this little hole in the ground. Like, why does that exist? What purpose does this serve in my life? Will I ever know? Probably not. But, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where these last 2 enemies are. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've been everywhere. I mean, if this is a faithful recreation of the Doom levels, it's not like there's many more areas to really go. Huh. So, yeah. Why don't I have all the enemies dead? Game? How dare you? You were supposed to make this simple, and now you're pulling a Doom on me. Not only did you recreate the Doom level, you recreated the Doom atmosphere of having to hunt around like a maniac and not find anything. I'm really proud of you. Of course, I would like to, you know, find the thing so I could move on with my life. Would be fun. You know, we could have happy times, enjoy ourselves, and, what's this about? No, this is the way back to the entrance. This doesn't do anything. Amazing. So where in God's name am I going here? It feels like I'm just going in circles trying to find these Blade 2 enemies. Like I said, I could just walk to the exit. It could totally be when I press the exit button, it's just going to, like, give me the last 2 enemies. But I really don't like that. I don't like this at all. There's just 2 missing enemies that are going to drive me insane. Okay. Wait, for a minute I thought I was stuck, and I was going to say, game, how dare you make me stuck on this thing? Let's jump to all these platforms in the event that actually, you know, does something of importance. I really doubt its ability to do anything. Yeah, no. Had to try. So, yeah, let's run around here. I heard something lower. Yes! Aha! As you see, it's over here. And it only lowers when you're down here. So you, like, need to really rush this. So it's like here it lowers. So now we alerted them. Let's do this again. It's a rather complicated thing. But as you see, we're getting it. Those are where the last 2 enemies are, people. I knew it had to be something like this. There we are. I don't think there's anything else behind there. I think it's just was those 2 enemies. They're supposed to be alerted or something like that, and they aren't. Oops. Ah well, I would have just walked there anyway. So, flying a little bit of no-clip for an inch doesn't really change much now. You know, it's not like I really did much of anything. So yeah, there we are. Level completed. Do you feel proud of yourself? You should. Because you're on scare tactics. But yeah. Rather curious that you spawned over here instead of over at the real spawn. That kind of really threw me through a loop because, yeah, that first initial impression, you don't get the feeling that this is the E1M9. It takes a little bit of looking around, but once you do, you can easily see, based on the geometry, what it is. And, yeah, it's definitely a curious thing when someone tries recreating something like this in, like, another game. So, yeah, it's always a nice little exciting thing to see something like this, to see something that's connected to something else. It worked 100%. You know, I was able to actually, you know, play it and do everything. So that's a positive. It had an actual level exit, which is definitely another positive. Yeah, it's definitely one of the better maps of this thing, even if it's, you know, a Doom level, which is something I normally would probably rant about. But, you know, when you're talking, you know, the original Doom levels, they weren't usually too offensive, and this kind of is how this one is. It's not really too offensive. Is it the most standout thing in the world? Not really. In fact, it kind of has a lot of things that are lacking from the Doom version. It's like a simplified version of E1M9, so you don't even get, like, the full experience of that. And that, like I said, I'm not really a big fan of whatnot. E1M9 was probably one of the better maps of Episode 1, though. It would have been nice if it had, like, the music playing during it, you know. It would have been nice had it, like, known in advance. I could have, like, had the music playing, all that. We could have had some nice action here, but instead he didn't, like... That would have been, like, the best way of going about this map. Would have been to have, like, some metal remix of E1M9 playing while this thing is, like, going the entire time, because that's really how this level should have been made. You know, is with, like, an E1M9 thing blasting, because that would really bring you into the focus of it, and would bring the excitement level that much higher. But this is a simplified version, as I said. It's really bare bones when you really get down to it. But it is still curious to see a recreation. It's not every day you see something like this. It's like we've only seen like map 01 recreated elsewhere. And that was only an Aftershock. So yeah, it's really something you don't see too often, at least not yet. I'm assuming as we go along further, we're going to see more and more recreations. But yeah, it is nice to see something like this here. So yeah, really not much to really talk about. There really wasn't much frustrating or angry at all. Like I said, it was one of the better maps of Doom, honestly. E1M9 was one of the better maps. It had a lot of action, fast-pacedness. This felt lacking and whatnot, especially when comparing it to the Doom map. But at the same time, it did at least a decent enough job. It really didn't do anything atrocious. Had decent design, all that, and like I said, it did have an exit. And if you know the Doom route, you can go out of your way and make it so that way you're exploring around and killing everything before you exit the level. So it's one of those that's not really going to come at you by surprise as long as you know the source material. That's kind of one of the things. It has an exit sign above it, but the exit sign wasn't exactly the clearest here. So I can't imagine like someone who was moving quickly through these levels, they could like easily bump into like the exit button and like kind of leave. That's kind of one flaw about a lot of these level exits. The same issue kind of happened a lot in Dark Hour. You don't really know where the level exit is. It's a little bit better sometimes. You have like exit signs and all that, but when you're moving quickly through a level, and Quake is a very fast-paced game, you're not bound to see that type of stuff. It's not the most clearest of things, especially if you're playing like a very fast-paced style. If you're playing a bit slower paced like I like to play, it might be perfectly fine, but it all depends on play style there. And usually the best way to like handle that would be to do it more like how it was done in like Aftershock, the actual Aftershock campaign, or like the original Quake campaign. As in, when you exit the level, it basically has a unique style of level exit, something that you can recognize visually as being the level exit. And the first time you like encounter it, it'll like give you a message and tell you that it's the level exit. Basically just some way of intuitiveness. And that's something that is a bit less lacking here, but it's not really the end of the world, especially since it ends up looping. So if you really miss anything, you could just like replay it anyway, because these are really quick things and they kind of loop. So you even get the reward of getting what you got in the previous playthrough to help you clean out faster. So that is kind of the benefit of how it loops like it does. Regardless, it would be nice if they had done like some sort of campaign between the levels. But I guess beggars can't be choosers, and we do get something. We do at least get levels to check out, to explore, and to actually have level exits. Like I said, that's kind of, that's something that people normally would probably take for granted, but it's something we have not seen too much of. Levels that you can actually complete. It sounds so silly of a thing to talk about and praise, but when you've experienced all of Dark Hour, Q2, a lot of the Aftershock standalone levels, and all these levels don't have level exits, it becomes a very welcoming thing when you see all these levels suddenly having a way to actually exit them. So that is a little bit of a benefit here, and combined with the fact that this is a recreation, which does have good brownie points there because it does give that feeling of nostalgia. It's a relatively decent level. It's a level I can't really complain about or really find too much wrong with. So this definitely has to be one of the higher points because it actually lasts more than a few minutes, and it also allows for things without too many bugs. The ending area was a bit annoying with the enforcers, but you could also attribute that to needing to figure out the puzzle, if you will, because that area would kind of open up in the original Quake, or in the original Doom, and so it's basically a matter of just thinking how exactly it kind of works and working with that. As you see, we figured it out. It worked perfectly fine. So, yeah, I don't really have too many gripes with this. So with that in mind, people, there's really nothing more to say. Thank you all for watching. I shall see you all next time.